out in the Sustainable Food Center kitchen this morning, continuing the fall ingredients for October, and I'm joined by Andy Zubik from the Zubik House, specializing in Texas Czech cuisine.
Yes, ma'am.
Love it. So what do you got working for us this morning? A whole lot out here.
We're going to do two things this morning. We're going to do a traditional kolache setup with pumpkin puree, sweet family goat cheese, local goat cheese, and candied pumpkin seeds, or pepitas if you like.
Delicious.
And then we'll have a main dish, which is usually a flat grilled schnitzel. Today we'll do it in a pan.
Okay.
But it has a yellow gold potato, Honeycrisp apple, sauerkraut, and a little mustard seed. And then we'll put a fried egg on top of that with fresh basil.
Show us what you're going to be doing.
Okay, so we're going to start with the kolache.
That's the dough.
Put a little flour on here. This is kolache dough. And press out the center. And this is a traditional kolache. It's not sausage rolled up in a bun.
Okay.
Which is
people think that's what a traditional kolache
right,
is.
Most people in Texas think that's a kolache. That's actually called a klobasnik.
Okay.
But we'll just default to that term because it's so popular. But this is a traditional setup. This is the pumpkin seed. This is the pumpkin puree.
I like that combination. The pumpkin puree and the goat cheese. That sounds delicious.
Yeah, and the puree is not too sweet. The dough itself is pretty sweet. You got a little bit of sweetness with the puree and the dough, and then the goat cheese is a little bit more savory. And then once we have the pepitas or the pumpkin seeds on top, which we'll put on after we take it out, then you'll have the sweetness, which is the candied of the pumpkin seeds.
Great.
So that's pretty much it. We're going to let this proof for a little bit, probably about 15-20 minutes. And then we'll put it in the oven.
All right. Okay, so while that is in the oven, we'll get started on the schnitzel.
Okay, the schnitzel is, it's just breadcrumbs. You can use just about any kind of breadcrumb you want. Traditionally, the schnitzel is fried, as far as the Germans are concerned. I do mine on the flat grill. Put it in buttermilk, season the buttermilk, then into the breadcrumbs, and that's pretty much it.
All right.
So we're gonna put a little bit of butter in the pan.
A hot pan here.
We gotta have a hot pan. Then we're gonna add the schnitzel. And you want to let it get a brown on it, so you don't want to be flipping it over and over and over again. Otherwise, it's going to pull the breading off.
Okay, just one time on each side.
Just one time. We'll say about 5 minutes. And it's a very thin, I'll beat the pork cutlet out really thin. That way it cooks faster, and you won't have to be sitting there possibly having it burn or anything on one side of it. So we're doing that. We're gonna go.
This is kind of your apple and potato slop.
This is the potato. It's a baby gold potatoes, Honeycrisp apple, mustard seed, and sauerkraut. And we'll put
I love sauerkraut.
Sauerkraut, well, I mean, in Czech food, German food, Polish food, kraut is almost a staple of just anything. It's got a nice sweetness in this, and the vinegar of the kraut tends to make a nice little blend. Yeah, so this is probably good.
Nice.
See, so it's got a little brown on it, and that's what we're looking for. We don't want it to get too much darker.
And while we're waiting for that to cook, we'll remind everyone to check out the Farmers Market today at the Triangle. 2 locations on Saturday downtown, also Sunset Valley, and then Tuesday actually out here in East Austin by Sustainable Food Center.
You can find me at the Farmers Market every Saturday morning, 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. If we're not there, we're doing a festival or we're doing a catering. So I got the egg in here. We're going to put a little bit of basil on there.
Basil, good.
We want the basil to cook into the egg. And this is going to be a runny yolk. That is going to be your sauce. All right, so the hash on top, the egg on top of that. And that is our schnitzel.
All right, the kolache looks about done now.
It is done. All right.
And it is going to be delicious. Quite the brunch.
Yeah, it does. It follows a lot of the little specialties of brunch these days.
Beautiful.
Mixing sweet and savory and that kind of thing.
Great.
And then we're going to finish a little with candied pumpkin seeds.
Perfect. A couple of great dishes at fall.
That's it.
For fall, go check out the Zubik House. Thanks so much, Andy.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.